Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are on this beautiful planet of ours this afternoon. Before we start, can I ask you if you can raise your hands if you can hear me okay? Fantastic, thank you for that. My name's Jamie Waters, I'm from Holmfirth, West Yorkshire, UK. If you'd signed in expecting to hear from one crazy Yorkshireman, Ian Driscoll, unfortunately Ian can't be with us today, he's away on BB Business, so you've got another crazy Yorkshireman in me here today instead. A couple of housekeeping before we start. If I can ask you to sign out of Skype, switch off Facebook, and get rid of any distractions that you might encounter for the next 10-15 minutes. And if you can grab a pen and a piece of paper, and then we can begin running through the company information presentation. Firstly, before I start, I'd like to say what a fantastic week we've just had in Portugal, in Vilamora, for the Banners Broker European launch. It was so good to meet so many of you out there. The two presentations that were on the two Saturdays and Sundays certainly were fantastic, and we look forward to what is coming soon in version 2.5, but also the next 12 months from Banners Broker. So I'll just wait a couple of seconds. A few people are still signing in, so we'll just give them another 30 seconds and then we'll begin. Okay then, so as I said, my name's Jamie. This is my first official company presentation, so please bear with me if something doesn't flow quite right. It's because I'm new, but hopefully we'll all get through it together for the next 10 or 15 minutes or so. So the first question that everybody asks is, what is Banners Broker? Well, Banners Broker is an online advertising company, and the product that we serve is banner impressions. Now, before we get started with the impressions, let's look at the advertising industry in general. We first started out with newspaper advertising. If people wanted to advertise to the local area or the national area, they may put an advert out in a newspaper. Oops, wrong way, typical. Then we have billboard advertising. So you're driving along the motorways and you see all the companies that are raising their brand awareness with the billboards on the side of the road. We've also got radio advertising. So commercial radio stations may have adverts that break up in between the songs or in between the news. And we've also got quite a popular medium, which is TV. It's a very, very expensive medium, but TV is a good way to raise your brand profile as well. But in the last 5-10 years or so, we've seen an explosion of online advertising and more importantly banner advertising on different people's websites. Now for the next 10 minutes or so, you're going to come across a few terms and terminologies that might be new to you. Things like advertiser, publisher, impressions, banner ads, traffic. And I'll be honest, for the first time that I saw this presentation 13 months ago, I didn't generally understand any of these different terms. So bear with us, it might take a little bit of getting used to, but hopefully some of these terms might become quite familiar to you over the next 10 minutes or so. So the online advertising, as we all know, global advertising, but specifically online advertising, is a $500 billion industry and it's growing at 20% a year. So let's look into a little bit more detail about this online advertising. Now, we have a website here and it's got banner ads. So the first question is, what is a banner ad? Well, it's generally a graphical image that is advertising a business, product or service. So on this website we have two banner ads. We've got the two that are highlighted in red. We've got one at the top for Lexus and then one on the right hand side for the Cherokee Jeep. We've also got an advertiser as well, the car insurance company, but we're going to focus on the banner ads on this presentation. So, first question as well is, what is a banner impression? Well, think of that as a page view. So you might go to the website autos.yahoo.com for instance, and when you see those banners on that website, well, that's a page view. Think of it as if you were reading a newspaper and you were turning over the paper to the next page and you saw an advert for Starbucks. You might look at that advert. Well, you're creating an impression on that particular advert. So as I said here, we've got your views, your eyeballs are going on to Lexus and Jeep on the adverts here. So, whereas in traditional media, in the newspaper, we say who is the advertiser, well that would be the newspaper owner, but in this case, who is the advertiser on this website? Well, here we've got Lexus and Jeep because they're advertising their products and service. But who is spending money, importantly, on this website? Who is producing the revenue, the income that we can then use? Well, it's Lexus and Jeep. They're spending money to, again, advertise their business product and also increase their brand awareness. Now, importantly, who's the publisher? Well, the publisher here in this example is Yahoo, because they want to have adverts on their website and they want to receive an income from that website. So who then is making the money? Well, you'd like to think that Lexus and Jeep are making money as a result of their advertising, but specifically it's Yahoo that's receiving the money from Lexus and Jeep as the publisher. Now, something that is also new, it was certainly new to me a while ago, is contextual targeting. Now, let's think about what type of company that Lexus is. Well, Lexus is a car company. So, do we find it any coincidence that Lexus are advertising on the cars section of Yahoo Autos? Well, no, because they want to advertise their type of products, their cars, in the relevant websites where people are viewing, because it wouldn't make much sense advertising their cars if they're on a home and food website, for instance. And this is called contextual targeting. Now, geo-targeting is also important. So you've got to ask the question, then, why do German ads go on specific German websites? Well, here we've got the example of Yahoo Deutschland, and we've also got Honda now that are advertising, and as you can see, their Honda Civic website that ends in DE for the German branch of Honda is on the German website. So again, it wouldn't make much sense if the Honda German website appeared on the French website, for instance, because there'd be a language difference. So then, we've got our adverts out there on the internet, and we've now got to ask, what is traffic? Well, traffic are people arriving at your website or other people's websites from various different sources, and they will then increase the number of hits that is received on that website, so it would increase the exposure of that website. So ultimately, the more traffic, the more exposure, which means ultimately the more money that you could possibly make through your website. So to summarise then, in this little section, we've got two different groups. We've got the advertiser, who are putting out banner ads, they are receiving impressions, they're contextually targeting their ads to the specific genre that they are wanting to advertise in. We also geo-target, so they would look at the particular region that they're wanting to target. But importantly, these people are spending money. So the advertisers are spending money. Now on the other side, we have publishers. Now a publisher has a website, it receives a large volume of traffic. The content on their website is relevant to the advertisers who are advertising on that website, but also, and importantly, the publisher will ultimately making money. So let's look at traffic for 1 second then. So who do we think, or rather which websites get the most amount of traffic in the world? Well, naturally, as you would imagine, Google are the most popular and most visited website every day on the internet. Closely followed by Facebook. I know many of you can't get off Facebook these days. Then we've also got YouTube. We've got Yahoo, which we've just talked about. And we've got Badao, which is a very popular website in China. Think of it as the Chinese equivalent of Google. Now let's look at something that may be quite familiar to you. Many of you may have advertised already on Facebook. So as you know, Facebook are an advertiser. But one thing that you can't do is receive an income, as in a revenue, from Facebook, so they are not a publisher. And because they don't have them two, then they don't have the combo package. Now Google has a very popular advertising program called the Google AdWords. So you can register with Google, you can create an advertising campaign, and you can hopefully increase your brand using the Google AdWords campaign. Now if you have a website and receive a certain amount of traffic, you could become a Google publisher, and that is called the AdSense program. But importantly, Google do not have a combo package. Now with Banners Broker, as I've mentioned, you can become an advertiser. You can also become a publisher, but importantly, what we're going to look at in just a second is you can also become both through what we call the AdPub combo package. So on the left hand side, you can become an advertiser. You can increase traffic to your website, you can increase your brand awareness, and hopefully you can then get sales ultimately from the advertising that you're using. On the right hand side here, we can become a publisher. So if you receive a certain amount of hits per day, you can have adverts on those websites and generate a cash income stream from that, so you can ultimately monetize your website. Now in the middle, we have the Banners Broker AdPub combo package. So then, let's look at how we get started in the process that you could go through to go down one of these three routes. Now firstly, you need to go to the referral link of the person who sent you to this webinar, and you type it into the address bar at the top, and it'll be bannersbroker.com, and in this example on the slides it's /Sally Cox. Now, I wonder how many referrals Sally Cox has got as a result of this presentation, but you need to go down to the link, the affiliate link of the person who sent you to this website. So you simply register with 3 easy steps: entering your name, your first name, your last name, create a username, a very secure password, an email address, and also then a phone number. You then agree the terms and conditions and simply click confirm, and then you've got your own free Banners Broker account. So on the left now here we've got the advertiser. So if you advertise, you can choose different genres, as I mentioned before, of contextual targeting. We have health and wellness, entertainment, business and commerce, social network, computer and networking, and web promotion and design. So you enter a campaign name, you choose the type of targeting that you would like, you assign a certain number of impressions, but then you create a destination URL, so if those people see your banner out there, they click on your banner, and that is the destination that they will go to once they click on that. Now importantly, we can also geo-target, so you can choose specific countries, and in the example here we've got the United Kingdom, we've got the United States, and we've got Portugal. But as you can see on the right hand side, you can also target by specific cities. So if I had a card shop in Home Firth, for instance, I could advertise just to the local area, the surrounding towns, even the county, so the impressions are not wasted advertising somebody in Australia who will maybe never visit this particular card shop. Now with the Banners Broker campaign, you can upload 10 different banners. These are in the popular image file types, so you've got 10 different sizes, and once you've gone through the process of uploading each banner, it generally takes about 5 minutes for the banners to become visible, but once you've done that, they then get approved by the company, and then your campaign is live and ready to go. So what if you have a website and you're wanting to monetize this website and receive income for it? Well, you can apply to become a Banners Broker publisher. Now you'll need around 1,000 hits a day, so it needs to be a reasonably high traffic website, and you go into the back office, you submit your URL to request to be approved, key in the estimated daily traffic, and obviously choose the different category of ads that you want them to go on there, and the guys in the office will have a look at the website, find out whether it's suitable or not, and then if it is, they will give you a code that you simply slot into the appropriate sections of your website, and then you can start to receive income as a result of the ads that are being displayed. Now we also have, and it is very unique out there in the internet, no one else has this, it's the AdPub combo package. So what does this actually mean? Well, it means 2 things. Firstly, on the advertiser side, you receive banner impressions to advertise your business, products or service, and these are for your use. So you can create campaigns like we mentioned before, and then you can advertise and hopefully generate sales and traffic to your website as a result of these adverts. But also on the publisher side, you receive advertising inventory across the publishing sites, and you ultimately receive an income as a result of renting that particular real estate. So think of it really as owning your little bit of the advertising pie. So for instance, this website here on World of Life, there's an advert called Swim at Home. Think of it as you're renting that particular space. So as and when a visitor goes to Swim at Home, you receive a portion of the income that Swim at Home advertisers paid to advertise on that website. Now, what if you don't have a website? Well, that's no problem, because you don't need to have your own publisher website to be able to rent space on other people's website. So how do we get started? Well, as you can see here, we have different packages. We have a starter package based at $25 for those who just want to dip their toe into the advertising market and see what it's like and how it works. And then down at the bottom here we have the black package, the ultimate package, at $3,655, which will earn them a minimum of earnings as a publisher of $14,560, but importantly it gives them 364,000 banner impressions to then advertise their product or service. Now, Banners Broker not only give you a fantastic website, but they also give you the tools to be able to track the success of your campaigns. Now, when you create your campaign, we've also got the options to view the reports of the campaign, so you can see all the different campaigns you have listed. You currently have 3 campaigns, but in the next couple of days, when they turn on the Choice Network, you're going to be able to have a maximum of 10 campaigns. So, a common question is, what is a panel? Well, think of a panel, break it down into 2 parts. Firstly, it shows your earnings from the publisher side. So, when a visitor arrives on your publisher site that you're renting, you'll receive a little bit of earnings, and that will show across on the earnings side. Now also you get the impressions from your panel, so this covers your advertising side, so that's the product, which is the tangible banner impressions. Now what we've also got is the status bar that goes along the side. Now as and when you do get the visitors, you will see that the orange bar goes along the screen, which shows you how much that particular panel has earned you up until it reaches the traffic cap. Now, once you've reached the traffic cap, depending on your repurchase settings, you could either generate yourself one more advertising panel and the equivalent in cash, or if it's set to 100% like the example here is, you receive 2 panels to the value of the cap that you received. So in this example here, the green panel earned you $540, and because it was complimentary 1, it was set to 100%, which generated you 2 green panels at complimentary 2, which means it already has traffic, so the panel is qualified automatically, which will then generate you another $540 on both of these new panels. Now once these panels complete, I would recommend to set at 50%, because this will then generate you a new panel, and it will also generate you the value in cash of that particular panel. Now these panels then ultimately need traffic to be able to qualify them to then be able to see future earnings. And you qualify your panels in one of 3 ways. You either receive organic traffic, and the details of this were announced last week during the European conference, and more details will be announced over the next couple of days, so I'm not going to go into detail on organic traffic during this presentation. We can have sales credits, so for people that you introduce, the company rewards you in the form of sales credits. Or if you don't want to, or you don't have the necessary skills or are able to introduce other people to this business, you can purchase traffic by purchasing traffic packs. So what we've got here is a little visual of really how a Banners Broker, or more importantly how a panel gives you the visual representation. So what we see here is the traffic cap, and we also see your panel moving along in its earnings, and on the left hand side we see the income from the external advertisers growing over time. Now once the panel receives its traffic cap, that's the panel completed, that's you that's earned your money, but the income still keeps coming from your particular ad spot because the advertiser has paid to advertise on that ad spot, so the rest goes to Banners Broker. Now I'll leave with the with the official disclaimer on here for you to read on the screen. But that was a little bit over than what I thought it would be, about 20 minutes. So hopefully you found the presentation interesting. Hopefully you can then get back to the people who you brought onto this webinar, and then they can answer any questions that you may have. But ultimately, thank you very much for your attention. Thanks very much as well for the positive and kind feedback that you're posting in the chat box. I'll not get a chance to come back to you all, but again, I do appreciate the notes in there, guys. That's really kind of you. So again, thank you very much for your time, and I hope you have a fantastic afternoon, day, evening, and I'll hopefully speak to some of you very soon. Cheers then now, and thanks very much.